Peace fam, it's Tiffany Hills popping in with a video. I would love to be outside, but they got neighbors doing their little family thing out there. So gotta be inside. Lisa's green inside. Okay, so anyway, y'all, it's been a lot coming through, and it's so much. I have never experienced this before ever in my years of being conscious and channeling. Like, this is just, it's major. I'm not gonna complain, but it's just trying to balance and see what goes where and organize it so I can present it. You know what I'm saying? And it makes sense. Okay, so Whitney is like a, when I tell you Whitney is, she got me just here, there, here, there, here, there. Like, she is all over the place. And I'm like, okay, where do you want me to start? Because you give me all this information. Where do you want me to start? Miss Houston. So she told me to start with background singers. So probably about a couple weeks back, I was watching Tweet. Y'all know Tweet the singer, signed with Missy Elliott. And she was saying how she never really wanted to be a solo artist. She always wanted to be a, she was a background singer. She loved singing the background. She loved the harmonies and the melodies and everybody blending together. She said that is what she loved. So she never really wanted to be a solo artist. So, it just kind of got me to think about, the background singers. Now, y'all hang with me because we going somewhere with this, right? So that's one. So my first dream in life, I was raised in the church, so the biggest dream I could come up with was I wanted to be a background singer for BeBe and CeCe Winans. Now, like I said, we was raised in the church. We wasn't, both my grandmothers were devout Christians, so we didn't, we were only raised on gospel music. So that was, the Winans, the Clark sisters, Andre Crouch, Shirley Caesar, and the list goes on and on and on, right? So that was my biggest dream. Love BeBe and CeCe. Love me some BeBe and CeCe. So that was my, dream. So with the whole background singers, so she gives me that. So I was just on YouTube and I, seeing her video, and it was saying BeBe and CeCe performing on Arsenio Hall. And her background singers was Debbie, Angie, and Whitney. Now, this is at the top of Whitney's career. She wanted to be this, she wanted to be, she wanted to sing background while they debuted their second album. Now, she did little runs and little melody, but I thought at some point she was going to come out and sing a little bit, and she did not. But they did have a song with Whitney called Hold Up the Light. She actually helped tremendously with Debbie and Angie's career, their first album, Debbie and Angie. What was that? Light of Love, The Light of Love, right? So I have a history with Debbie Winans. She's the baby of the family. Now, remember, I told you the Winans mirror the Jackson family. So with the three sisters, you got CeCe, Angie, and Debbie. Angie and Debbie are the babies of the family. So their first album was one, I would play them out. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to meet them so bad. And then, things came to fruition where I met Debbie. See, it's just so much, she had me unpacking a whole lot. Whitney had me, I was weepy, a lot of stuff that came up with the church, so much. It's just been a lot, but I want to make sure I stay streamlined. So just remember the lights, remember background singers. Okay. So, with the whole light. So, when I was going through my whole, awakening and coming into consciousness and leaving the church, I was very, very, excuse me. I was very, very, broken, confused, suicidal. I was just, I was all over the place with it. And so I'm leaving. I was still working at the airlines at the time. So as I'm leaving my shift and going through the airport, about to go to the parking lot, I'm going one way and I see in the distance, I was like, oh, that's Debbie. I said, Debbie Winans, what's up, girl? And so we hugged and talked for a minute. And I was like, listen, how much time you got before your flight go out? Because I need to talk to you. And she was like, oh, come on, I got a few minutes. And so I was like, I'm going through, this thing where I don't really believe in what the church is teaching anymore. I don't believe in the rapture. I don't believe in this. I don't believe in that. Like, her ass was like big like this, right? And I'm like, I really don't know where to go. This is all I know from the time I've been raised in the church. I don't know, which way to go with this. And so she was like, it was almost like what I was saying, she was experiencing it, but was too afraid to hear me out. So she was like, girl, it's just the devil. Pray on it. And that's all everybody in the church would tell me when I would try to go have meetings. I would, pull people aside. They would say this. Everybody would say the same thing. It's the devil. Pray on it. That's all they could tell me. So she when I tell you, she might as well have been Carl Lewis and ran up that jetway to get the hell away from me. So time goes on. I'm just like, just trying to find my way, and a whole lot of stuff was going on. Just trying to stay streamlined. So fast forward to consciousness. Come into consciousness and find, Panic and Bobby and, y'all know the list, my list, Sister Myra, Sister Dr. Jewel, Dr. Blair, find my family. So I knew I wasn't crazy. So as I began to think about it, everybody was telling me the truth. It's the devil. Pray on it, right? So who is the devil? Who is Satan? The light bringer, right? So I was, a lot of people because there's a spell, cast on you when you are in Christianity. There's a spell, the religious side of it. Now, the church was established, in times past. It was for us to come together as a community, for us to, pool our resources. It was not the business that it is today. And so we've gotten so far away from that. So now it's just this business. So, with the whole light bringer thing and, me coming from under that spell, a lot of people aren't strong enough to do it. A lot of people, like I said, I was very suicidal because I didn't know if, I must be crazy if I'm the only one going through this and nobody's agreeing with or has any answers for me. So lo and behold, Brother Bobby's lectures on the devil and Satan and the Baphomet and all this type of stuff brought so much clarity and just peace to my soul and my spirit. So with the whole background singers, what I was saying in the last video was like one band, one sound. Like the background singers are, they are there. It's always three. So like the three sisters, right? It's always pretty much three background singers, maybe four, but the background singers are responsible for making the solo artist, the voice more full. You know what I'm saying? If they're out there by themselves, it's just this real flat type of sound. Even if they have a wonderful, wonderful voice, depending on where they're performing, the background singer's job is to bring in the melody, bring in the harmony, bring in the energy. You know what I'm saying? Establish this vibration so that the solo artist can shine. And you know what I'm saying? Just really give them the energy that they need to, do what it is that they need to do as a solo artist and whatever the performance. But the background singers are very, very instrumental. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those background singers can sing better than the actual artists, right? So, case in point, Alicia Keys, what's that song? I won't tell you secrets. And she let the one of the background singers, the guy, sing. And I was like, let him sing. Just keep letting him sing because he can sing so good, right? So, they're responsible for the harmony and the melody, and that's where we are with the whole band, one sound. There, we can't be, a lot of us have to be the background singers right now. And it's a great thing because it's up to us to pull in the harmony. So that's what we're doing as the conscious, those who are representing conscious. I really don't want to say conscious community, but let me just say it for the sake of argument. The conscious community, we're playing the background because this is not, mainstream. You know what I'm saying? A lot of it is becoming a little commercial, but this knowledge and stuff is not mainstream. You see what I'm saying? So we're in the background doing all the work. You know what I'm saying? Freeing people in the spirit realm, laying down vibrations and establishing vibrations, freeing people who are, what they used to call in the church, the strongholds, right? And so as I'm telling y'all to play this music, we're actually freeing a lot of these artists who are, being held by religion. We're freeing a lot of these people who are in these congregations who are ready to come out from under this spell. We're freeing them with our, transmuting the energy, because a lot of gospel music is more victim-based. We know we're talking to our, the whole Jesus and devil thing is nothing but your higher and lower self, right? So we're transmuting this energy to free them. And so Whitney brought me to I'm Every Woman. And so I found a clip on YouTube where CeCe was saying Whitney had invited her to sing, to be in the video, I'm Every Woman. So, we know that Shaka Khan song, right? And so CeCe said she turned her down because, you know, she's like, that music is demonic. And she started saying the lyrics. She was like, I can cast a spell. And so the lyrics go, I can cast a spell, secrets you can't tell, makes a special move, puts fire inside of you. Anytime you feel danger or fear, instantly I will be there. And that's what Whitney is saying right now. Like she's saying, I'm every woman, I'm everything, I'm a tree, I'm an animal, I'm a leaf, she's everything and everywhere. Now you remember she played one of the family members put a comment with saying, I just got done watching the Cinderella where Whitney was the fairy godmother of Brandy. Now y'all know I'm all about the fairy, the fairy. So it's all start coming in, right? And so she said, she was like, you gotta remember Chaka Khan, the day Whitney passed, and they were saying they had Clive Davis had a party, and Chaka Khan spoke out on it on a mainstream news station, and she was like, she was livid, and she was disgusted, and she was mad, and she had to speak up for her sister. Whitney is really about true sisterhood. So in the past, I say around 2020, 2021, I keep having these dreams of Debbie. I'm like, why do I keep dreaming of Debbie? So I sent her a message on Instagram, and never heard anything back. And I'm just like, I'm done with it. Why do I keep? Anytime you're having a reoccurring dream, it's because you're not getting the message. So I'm having dreams about this, and so they had that Bold album. So when they were recording the Bold album, I was a part of. Me and Debbie was cool at the time, and so she had. I would fly her back and forth, her and her husband. I knew her husband first. That's how I met her. And so I was working for the airlines at the time. And so just to make it a little lighter for them, you know what I'm saying? I would fly them back and forth, to Nashville. So, so much so, if you don't believe I am who I say I am, look at the Bold album and see that they gave me special thanks on the album. Shoot, I done sidetracked myself. Okay, no. Stay streamlined. So with the whole dreaming about Debbie is really Whitney. The whole time it's been Whitney this whole time coming as Debbie. So their Bold album, she was like, be bold. She keeps saying, be bold. And at this time, when I first started having dreams, I was kind of going through because my channel had been taken down. And I was just like, I'm be bold about what? You know what I mean? I done did this, I done did that. Every time I do something is shot down, whatever the case may be. And so she's like, be bold. And so it was like, whenever you're told to be bold, like be a pioneer, be a trailblazer, be a forerunner, we got to light the way for other people. There's that light again, right? So with the whole Debbie thing, Debbie, it was one point where we tried to fly out and we made it to the airport. And at that time, they wanted you to dress a certain way and you had to fly with your companion. You couldn't just put them on a plane. So long story short, we had to go back, and Debbie didn't stay too far from the airport. She's like, I got something for you to wear. So she gave me this pantsuit. Now, they are like, when I say they dressers, they stuff is so top tier. It's a BeBe suit. Now, mind you, the name Deborah means bee. So, bee. So she gave me the pantsuit to put on. So it was like, her and Angie were the rebels, because this whole Bold album, first they were signed to Capitol Records, and the second album they were signed to Angie's husband's label, which is called Against the Flow. And so they were rebels. They spoke about, they spoke out about homosexuality. And I know they saw a whole lot of things in the church or in the gospel community that they were a part of, that they spoke out. Well, turns out they got spanked and got blackballed, and they haven't had an album since. And so it was like Whitney is Aquarius. I'm Aquarius. It was just like this rebel energy. You know what I'm saying? So like now it's at its peak. It's done spilled over. Like the cup, like that whole cup runneth over. It done spilled over. And so she showed me that, y'all remember in the movie Braveheart with Mel Gibson, remember how they were, all these, I guess, different tribes were about to fight against each other. And so the Mel Gibson's character was like getting everybody to be united. So they fooled the people that they were fighting, because they showed up to fight this one, this tribe that was supposed to be on the bad side. So they go about to, rush each other and they stop and they shake hands, hug and laugh and like, no, I'm on this side, right? And so that's what's happening. You know what I'm saying? The whole gospel, church, religion, conscious, like I said, everything is now one. So much so, case in point, me and my uncle, we talk every day. Not every day, I'm sorry. Me and my uncle, we talk it's my father's brother. Maybe twice a week or once a month. And every time we talk, we cracking up. I know they Christians and stuff like that. And so this particular time, while we, telling y'all to do all the, gospel music stuff, all out of the blue, we about to get off the phone. We had a good time, me, him, and his wife. And so he's like, Tiff, you think you can close us out in prayer? I said, huh, Uncle? He said, can you think you can close us out in prayer? And I'm just like, first of all, my uncle is in his 70s, and I'm like, I can't do the whole metaphysical thing. Uncle, I said, I just went into prayer and prayed. I'm like, really? You know what I'm saying to my man? Like, really, really? So, what happened? So, just like, like this whole, like everything is becoming one, and wherever we thought we were, there was some dissension and all those wrinkles and things are being ironed out. So as we're playing this music, like this spell, this curse of religion, all religion, not just the Christianity, but Christianity, because that's our roots. A lot of these singers come out of the church. So when I say it's a lot coming through, Aretha Franklin is coming through. Roger Troutman then brought Shirley Murdoch into it. Now, CeCe has a song called on the Everlasting album, The Wind. And it's she sampled the music from As We Lay for Shirley Murdoch. And I'm like, well, why would she do that? Knowing that the song is As We Lay, you know what I'm saying? And she just said that Whitney's, she said at one point that Whitney's, I'm Every Woman is cursed. And so this information will be on the podcast because Prince came through. And so it's Prince, Shirley Murdoch, what's his name? Roger Troutman, with this whole purple realm. That's going to be a podcast. The whole purple realm and what was actually, what actually happened with why she sampled this song. Marriages. I will say this. Marriages and it was like this cheating or creeping, but it was like Spirit gave me to know, like when somebody is married and they have an affair but they actually fall in love with the other person, and it becomes like this year-long affair or years. And I'm talking about real love. I'm just talking about fucking around. I'm talking about real love. These people really love each other. And she, Spirit gave me to know that these are different timelines. So when a lot of these timelines are broken, as I explained to you in the last video, when these timelines are broken, then these things get thrown all out of whack. So in the future, you meet up with this energy that was your wife or lover back in the past, but you're with somebody now. As I said, watch the movie Needle in a Time Stack. And so when CeCe sampled the song, she was able to correct, you know what I'm saying, these timelines. And it's a beautiful song. It's a really, really, it's a very beautiful song. So I will say that, but that's all going to be on it's a whole realm of lovers, androgyny, timeline corrections, fixing the timelines. I'm trying to figure out the term I use. But anyway, so Whitney was saying, so she brought to me, this whole, like, I had to unpack my whole church stuff, the whole connection to the Winans and my intricate part of being, with them. You know what I'm saying? And so, so that's what we're doing. So as the Winans mirror the Jacksons, we are freeing not only, so the Winans, their vibration, like I said, the Winans were Christians, the Jacksons were Jehovah's Witnesses. So they went secular. The Jacksons are secular. The Winans are gospel. So the Winans pretty much covered the Jacksons. while they were able to go and do that work in the industry where, you know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of them people, when they get out of the end, you know, the secular singing, they go running back to the church because they done seen some shit. You know what I'm saying? So they covered them so they could, you know, so Michael and the Jacksons, you know, could get their thing, you know, get that work done. But now, you know, the curse have been broken. All of these curses have been broken. Case in point, that the Mississippi Brawl. When I tell you I could not be more prouder, I just wish I was like there. Like I would have been right on that dot. Like that's what we do in Detroit. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? You mess with a family member, it's on the poppin'. So okay, let me stop. But that brings up the 4 little girls that was bombed in the church in the 60s. Birmingham, the Birmingham church bombing. So the 3 little girls came, the four little girls came up that Brother Bobby freed. So their names was Denise, Addie, Carol, and Cynthia. So Denise means follower of Dionysus. Addie means sweet, pleasant, and to be of nobility. Carol means freeman, and Cynthia means moon goddess. Spirit gave me to know that they are now in the 4 elements. And they are, not only are they powering up all the families, gospel family, like their sacrifice not only it established a certain vibration within the music. And so when I tell y'all, listen to this music and these sounds and we get these feelings, these are our ancestors. These are, you know, they're activating us. You know what I'm saying? They're pushing us through and making sure that we get to where we need to be. So we keep talking about this sun and these solar flares. And when this big flare happens, it's going to be a total metamorphosis, y'all. It's not going to be life per usual, or we say other people going to wake up. It's like we don't even know what's about to happen with us. Like, as far as like, it's so big that's why all these channels is coming through, and I'm trying to really iron it out to get to the meat and the bone. That's why I have to actually record so I can start talking, and then the, you know, spirit will come through. Because I be just like y'all watching the video. I'll be watching the video just like y'all, like what Spirit's saying. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So they came through. You know what I'm saying? But the church bombing, the actual bomb, the church, where is one space where we are supposed to find sanctuary, safety, protection, would be the church. So the actual bombing of this church was to the explosion was spiritual and destroying all religion. And so these little girls' energy is now in the 4 elements, tearing shit the fuck up. Like we keep talking about the sun and the sun heating up. It's us who about, you know, popping off. You know what I'm saying? We ain't. It's over. You know what I'm saying? The deletes and the powers that once were, it's over. Like we keep thinking this, you know, they about to do this and they ain't about to, they running for their life. They running for their life. So we about to go through this whole metamorphosis, something we have never been, when this shit really goes down. And it's going to happen in stages. You know what I'm saying? Just like the caterpillar goes into the pupa, and then it turns into the butterfly. The tadpole goes into a middle stage, and then it becomes the frog. But it's a metamorphosis. It's a metamorphosis. It's unprecedented. It's unprecedented. So Whitney is saying, I'm everything. She said, I'm in everything. Like, this is how dope she is. She's like, everything is everything. Everything is everything. Point blank, period. So I'm gonna stop it right there, family. Because it's another it's more information that's coming through. It's here on this pad. I'm just trying to streamline it to get it to make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because it could be scripted, very cryptic. And so what's the name came through. Now, hello Vega, you know you leave me like a million comments. You came through, and I had just woken up from a dream. No. I wasn't even dreaming. I had just woke up, and I was just kind of laying there. And then you came in my mind, and you said, the oracles told me to tell you that Oscar wants you. And I was like, Oscar Michaud? And I came out of it. So whatever you got on your end, let me know. You know what I'm saying? But I know that that's telling us to create. You know what I'm saying? Create, create, create. And I used to write. I wrote plays, and that was another reason why with me and Debbie, you know, I wrote plays for the church. I did a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? It's like this reactivation that has taken place within me. So those of us who do music, those of us who write, those of us who have written books, those of us who playwright, all of this stuff is like, what is the world that we want to see now? And we have to be creating that. But this is going to be like we all coming together to do this. And so I'm not sure what it's going to be, but it's coming. So it's just coming. It's coming through. Also, the humility that Whitney is saying that we need, and she has said it in the past about, and a child shall lead them. Like she said, we have to be so childlike and innocent with the information, with this energy, with our vibration, with our sincerity, with things that need to be healed. She's saying like we have to be like empty and light as a feather in order for us to really access these energies and the activations. She said like so humble, like an infant, even like an embryo. You know what I mean? That innocent. Like she said, like we got to be that clean, that innocent. And it was crazy because I just did a consultation with a young man, and some things came up with me because I know whenever I do a reading and a consultation, that's a teacher coming through. You see what I'm saying? Even though I'm giving guidance and direction, that's a teacher coming through. And so I never take readings or consultations lightly. So this young man his voice sounded like one of my exes, and he had the name of one of my exes, two of which I have not, didn't end well in my mind. And so it started coming up, and I was just like, you know what I mean? I thought I was done with this. I thought I healed from this. Like, what is going on? And Spirit gave me to know, like, you got to get rid of everything. You have to heal everything. So I went in and I started thinking about the part of the relationships that was wonderful, and how, I fell in love with these men, and, and it wasn't so bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, dang, the good really does outweigh the bad. So when these things come up, be honest with yourself and be like, yes, this is a thing. This is a problem. You know what I'm saying? Like, okay, now how do I heal it? How do I transmute this energy and direct it to me accessing these activations, these downloads, these uploads, these transformations, these metamorphoses? How do I keep up? You know what I'm saying? How do I just chill out and be still and really take it to the next level? Because we about to do a lot of work, y'all. It's about to be we about to do a lot of beautiful things, but we got to be beautiful souls in order to hold a vibration that we can all harmonize on. That's what the background singers are doing, right? We, to hold this vibration, to cultivate this vibration for ourselves, so that when we come together to create, which will be in the very near future, with music, with movies, with plays, with anything you can think of that are theatrical. You know what I'm saying? We got so much work to do, and it's going to be such a joy to do, but we got to be right. We can't, there can be no competition. And that's another thing Whitney was saying, like the industry created competition. So, we could compete against each other, because, if somebody lose for somebody to win, that's not, you know what I'm saying? The winner is happy, but the loser feel like, well, I gave my all too. So, you know what I mean? No more competition. There can be no more competition. There isn't anybody like you. You the only you on the planet. So you and your, like what Nip always, Nip said, stay in your lane. Ain't no traffic in your lane. And so we all bring these bountiful, beautiful gifts, but we got to be them background singers, and we got to know that we all, one band, one sound. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no, when those background singers, especially Luther Vandross's background singers, when they get their moment to shine, you just be like, damn. His background singers sound like freaking angels. And so before we come together, we have to be stripped of all this bullshit, all this ego, all this toxicity, all the stuff that we think is gone, but it's not. So the young man who came through, he came through as a healer for me. You know what I'm saying? And all those triggers, you know what I mean? I had to be honest with myself and say, okay, this needs to be dealt with. And I went in and I did the work. So let me make sure I got Yeah, I think I do, because if I turn the page, it's gonna be a lot more. It's gonna be a lot more coming through. But the three sisters, yeah, but I'll save that. I'll save that because that's gonna take me off, and I'm already at 30 minutes. But family, please. I'm telling you, come through for these consultations and these readings, because it has been off the chain. Please and thank you, okay? Y'all know how to get at me. Everything's going to be in the description box below. I'm going to put in the links with the videos I mentioned with Whitney and CeCe. So Tiffany's Love Heals at gmail.com for your fairy readings, spiritual consultations, dream interpretations, inspirational voice notes, and your fairy dust. I love you all. I love you all. I love you all. And I will see you in the next video. Stand by for the podcast.